What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Ford Train Express live stream. I am your boy, the Ford Train Express. Today with me, I got the Don of the Watch Alongs, Kevin, the BX Sports Jedi. So we have a good live stream today. We've got a complete recap of the offseason so far. So let's say hi to Kev. Kev, how's it going?
What is up? Ford Train Express, Mikey Mazda. What salute here on the NXT line, ready to go to NXT live tonight. So let's get it, baby.
Cool, let's get it. So we have a lot that's happened so far over the course of this offseason, as you all are aware of. We've had some minor signings, some major signings, and we've also recently had a couple of other moves. One was made by Toronto today. But to kick off from the beginning, we had Jacob deGrom going to Texas for 5 years with $185 million, with a 6th year for $222 million if that option is picked up. Mind you, that is a conditional option. So that means if he gets hurt or gets any kind of surgery and is on the IL for a certain period of time or is not able to play for a certain amount of time, that option will then kick in. That is the only time that option comes into play. What do you think of that deal, Kev?
Well, Texas overpaid. They overpaid. They need pitching. That's what happens when a team that needs pitching, they overpaid. I like that they are trying to protect themselves in case he does get injured. But I think personally, with Jacob deGrom, he just didn't want to play in New York. He just didn't want to pitch in New York. He didn't make his starts. There's a lot of reports that he fatigued. Scherzer had to push him to get to start to pitch. He didn't go back with a final offer, but for the Rangers, good job on them to get pitching. Now they just got to hope that Jacob deGrom is healthy, and if he's healthy, they got themselves one, if not the best pitcher in MLB. So kudos for them.
Yep. I think that they had to make that move. That is one move they had to make. Jacob deGrom being at the status that he is, they definitely had to make that move, especially they were trying to keep up with the Houston Astros. So good on them for doing that. The next, one of the other big signings that happened, and this happened a few days ago. We're not really going in order of how it went, but Masataka Yoshida, the Japanese prodigy outfielder, just signed with the Red Sox for 5 years and $90 million. No one saw. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think they were going to go after him. I thought that they were going to try to lock up Bogarts and then rebuild and retool their system. What do you think about this, Kev?
Boston with Heim Bloom and is not doing things that we normally really see from Boston. Even the fan base is a little bit up in arms or confused. They got themselves an outfielder here. You could say low risk, high reward if he pans out from Japan. Where everybody's looking for the next Ichiro, Shohei Ohtani, the next Japanese star. A lot of low risk, high reward for the Red Sox, but they just lost Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah,
they might not get JD Martinez, might not return.
Yep.
Nathan Eovaldi's a free agent.
Yeah.
That Boston team will look so different. And let's face it, right now, as we stand here on the 10th day of December, Boston don't look like a playoff team.
No, they don't.
Boston look like the last place team in the National League. American League East. Yep. So if you're a Boston fan, what do you think? What do you see that's gonna give you assurance that they're gonna be competitive in the American League East? So I know we're Yankee fans and we don't, but we kind of want to see the Red Sox a little bit competitive because we do want to see. I don't know. It makes the rivalry special when both teams are really good. Right now, Boston. I hate to say it, as a Yankee fan, I kind of feel sorry for the Red Sox in a way.
I mean, you have a good point. I mean, Red Sox fans have nothing to hope for now. They just lost their homegrown shortstop to San Diego on an 11-year, $280 million deal, which, mind you, is an outrageous deal for a guy like that. Now, I'm not taking his talent away from him because he's got talent. It's just his age and the money that he's getting and the years that he's getting, which is outrageous. Then you look to the other side, on the National League side, where the Met fans lost DeGrom, where the Mets lost DeGrom, and then they came back and signed Jose Quintana, re-signed Brandon Nimmo, signed Justin Verlander, re-signed Edwin Diaz, and those 5 moves are giving Met fans more hope than the Red Sox are giving the Red Sox fans. So we have to look at that too, because you've got to think the Mets are acting like the Red Sox of old and the Yankees of old. Steve Cohen is dishing out money like it's nothing with who he signed and how much money he signed. He's already on that 3rd tier of luxury tax. He's already there. He's going to pay a metric ton of money in luxury tax now. Now, he doesn't care about that because he's got the money. This is Steve Cohen we're talking about. We're not talking about Tampa Bay or Oakland. We're talking about Steve Cohen. This guy has the money to pay that luxury tax, and it's like nothing to him. It's like drinking a glass of water for us. So Steve Cohen is, if you look at it, has really made the Mets more competitive than they have been when the Wilpons were in charge. What do you think?
Well, the Mets, kudos on the Mets. They lost Jacob deGrom and only made 11 starts for the Mets. And they added the American League Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander, who, yes, he's age 37, but he's durable. He's going to pitch more and more games than Jacob deGrom, on paper right now. Barring it, I don't see him getting injured. Maybe a hamstring here and there, but hopefully not. Knock on wood, he stays healthy all through the whole season. But they went and they added A1 starter. Now that they're top heavy, they bring in Quintana to bring in, because they lost Taijuan Walker to the Philadelphia Phillies. Yep. You bring in Quintana, who's a serviceable pitcher. Marketable, I mentioned it on the program before that Quintana, Colombian native, the Corona Heights section of Queens is very South American oriented and heavy bladed, and now you bring in a market for that to bring in more. It's a business decision, smart move. They bring a number 3 starter into the building. Also, they also made a trade. We forgot the trade with Tampa to bring in the left-handed reliever from Tampa from the Rays. So they're making their bullpen stronger. David Robinson from the Philadelphia Phillies signed with the Mets as well. That adds to their bullpen. So they're bringing the right pieces. Steve Cohen's willing to go on that 3rd threshold of the luxury tax to improve the team. You got to like that. I still think the New York Mets, and we're talking on the Mets, I still think they need a bat. They still need a designated hitter. Yep. To me personally, to protect Alonso for at least with power. Names out there, JD Martinez. You're looking at Nelson Cruz type of players. They need that type of bat where they can get a short-term contract, not lock in there. And one thing about the owner Cohen, he's already $60 million in that third luxury threshold. He says, well, he'll go up to 100 million, and then he'll worry about shedding payroll after he wins the World Series if he wants that. So basically, telling the Met fans, we got 3 to 4 years before I win a World Series, and then we're gonna have to break it down and cut payroll or do whatever it needs to do before we take the hard pill. But he's willing to invest, and like I said it before, and I say it again, it's up to the Met fans to go out there and support your owner. What do you mean by that? Well, come April, May, those night games, they better be full on the weeknights in Citi Field. I don't want to see their attendance record 17,000, 21,000. That got to be packed, 34,000 plus night in, night out, because that man is spending money. You got to back up your owner if you're the Mets fans.
And just to get to your point, you brought up 2 very, very big names, Nelson Cruz and JD Martinez. I can see the Mets signing either one of them. Both of them are DHs. Both of them have the spotlight experience from playing in Baltimore and in Boston, and both have that experience where if they need a bat to come up big, those guys will do it. Take a look at when Nelson Cruz was with Seattle when he was teammates with Cano. He always came up big, even in Baltimore. So they have that experience. So I could see either one of those two going to the Mets. And the other thing that you brought up, which was a great point, which was Steve Cohen is trying to win in the next 3 to 4 years. Well, he's acting like he's got that win now mentality. That's why he's spending all this money. That's why he's shelling out $10 million to Robertson, whatever it was to Verlander, 120 to Scherzer, because he has that win now mentality because he wants to bring a world championship to New York. And by him doing that, that should say to Met fans, I'm not here to just, screw around and do this, the petty little moves. I'm here to bring in the big name players so we can get that championship. To me, that's why I agree with you. The Met fans should be backing their owner, supporting their owner, and should be packing that stadium full every single night. So I agree with you 100% on that. Another move actually that just got made today, which not a lot of people are going to think is a big move, but it actually is Kevin Kiermaier just signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. That's a big move. Not in the sense of a player name, but just because now they can move Springer over to one of the corner outfield positions. It replaces Teoscar Hernandez, and it takes him out of the Brian Reynolds running. Because now what do they need Brian Reynolds for when they got Kiermaier? They don't need Brian Reynolds because now both corner outfield spots are taken and center field is taken.
And you also, one thing about with the Toronto Blue Jays, they have not able to keep Springer healthy on that field. He's always got some injuries. He's always letting them down. When he plays, the time that he plays, he's dynamic. He's dynamic. He makes that Toronto Blue Jays dangerous. Also, Teoscar Hernandez, another one who was dangerous, who made that team dangerous. But injuries. Now, they bring in Kiermaier. They play them in left field. They allow to play him there. You're right. Brian Reynolds out of the sweepstakes for Toronto. But Toronto still got players that could trade with Pittsburgh to bring him if they wanted to. But
it's
you're
less
right.
Kiermaier's
right. Kiermaier, center fielder who played in the American League East. He knows the American League's pitching. His numbers and so forth. Not a bad signing there for Toronto. I thought the Metsies were going to get on it. If Nimmo would have went somewhere else, I think that's the name that the Mets would have gotten there. Would have been Kiermaier for them. But wow, that's a good one there for Toronto. I have to admit there. Look, watch out. They're not done yet. Could we possibly see name Bassett has been targeted by Toronto? Right. Noah Syndergaard as well, former he was a former farmhand for Toronto, and they still have a lot of good things and good memories upon him. So could Toronto be in the Noah Syndergaard running? You never know. I wouldn't surprise that as well. Bring him in there. So Toronto is not done yet. Making moves, and if you're the Yankees, you have to keep that eye open and vested. Even though Toronto needs to catch the Yankees. The Yankees first. It's not the Yankees worried about Toronto, but still, you always got to keep keep that jab, keep your ears, eyes, and open. You don't want anybody to get that advantage and try to leapfrog you.
So another thing, I don't know if you got my message today, but Scott Boras said something very interesting. I just want to veer off the offseason recap for a second, but he said something extremely interesting that kind of made me think a little bit that there's something going on. So when Scott Boras was speaking to reporters after the Xander Bogaerts thing, I think it was, he said, well, talking about free agency, it's like different pools. You've got your infinity pool, your lap pool, your lazy river pool, and then you've got your inflatable pool. The Yankees, I would consider in the infinity pool, and that there's no shallow Hal in New York. That to me, right there, already says that he wants to get a deal done for Rodon to come to New York. That's what that says to me. Now, I could just be speculating. I could be. There's a whole lot going into this. But that to me says he wants Rodon, his client, in New York next season over the course of how many ever seasons we give him. That's what that says to me. I don't know about you, but that to me got me thinking a little bit. What do you think?
I kind of want to disagree to a point.
Okay.
I think Boris is saying the Yankees are players, and he needs to say that because no matter what free agent is available, you want the Yankees name involved. And if the Yankees got the reputation of being in shallow pool, a lot of MLB teams are not going to want to pony up the money because the Yankees are not involved. When the Yankees are involved, you're guaranteeing you're going to get the Yankees are involved. They'll pit a bidding war. And if he says and he gives compliments to the Yankees, where now we saw Judge and of course Rendon, and they're in on Rendon, but I haven't heard an offer from the Yankees concrete or if they're interested or anything like that. It's telling me that they just want the Yankees involved, so a bidding war, like the same way they want the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers this year look like they're punting. Look like the Dodgers this year are not going to do much. They're going to sign, they signed Kershaw for $20 million, and they're not normally in on the big names like they normally are. Now Boris needs the Yankees involved for that big money, and they need them in there. And I think that's why he gave the flowers to the New York Yankees. Yankees always had a good relationship with Boris to begin with, signing players and all that. But that's the way I see it. I think he wants to give the Yankees compliments because he needs them involved. And he says, listen, I'm going to throw your name around, but because I need you guys for bidding wars.
So I agree with that. And, but actually I think it was yesterday, I read somewhere that there was an offer given. I don't know the money wise, the what they would be paying, but for the year wise, I think it was a 5-year offer that they made to Rodon. So they have a formal offer on the table. Now, whether or not that gets changed or not, that's where they're at now. One thing that I see, or I've seen this offseason, is these big names are falling quickly. They're falling, and they're falling quickly. Take a look at Trey Turner. Got a 13 or an 11-year deal or something like that for $300 million from Philly. Now he's in Philadelphia, and he turned down San Diego's offer. And then you've got Judge, who did the same thing, came back to the Yankees for $9 for $360 because Hal said, do you want to be a Yankee? What is it going to take? Gave him the money, matched the Giants' offer, and that was the end of that. And then you got, what's his name? Xander Bogaerts going to San Diego. So 3 of like 10 big fish are off and within a matter of a week are gone off the board. So that shows that these big name free agents are dropping like flies.
Well, teams want to sign these players immediately due to the fact that, remember, there's a World Baseball Classic this year. Yep. They want to know what team, and some of these free agents want to know where they're going to play at. So they got to move first of all, they got to move their families. They got to do all their arrangements if they're going to change school systems and etc. Outside stuff of Major League Baseball. But also they have to get ready to meet up with their countrymen, or in case of Team USA or others, to find out where they're going to train and all that stuff. So it's going to be kind of a short, condensed season. So I'm not saying not every one of these free agencies are going to play on their national team, but that's also to it as well. I think that's a big plus. And let's face it, a blink of an eye, it's already going to be February. I mean, I know we're December 10th. Once we get through the ho and bring in the new year, next thing you know, boom, we're intertwined with NFL's playoffs, and then it's February. And oh snap, spring training, then you go with all that Valentine's Day crap, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're hit with spring training, and you're like, whoa. baseball's here. So, it sucks to be one of those free agents, don't have a home. You don't know where the hell you're going. So I think that's why we see a lot of movement. We see a lot of decisions and offers immediately.
I can see that. The next, bit of news, which was happened. It wasn't like a huge free agent signing, but it was a pretty key one. Was the Chicago Cubs had signed Jameson Taillon to a 4-year, $68 million deal, which is big because that's a blow to the Yankees because now they absolutely have to add a starting pitcher. Because had they retained Taillon, the need for a starter may not have been as great, but it would have still been there. But now it's like they have to go out and, get that starter because they don't have anyone behind Cole that can be a reliable number 2.
Yes. Jameson Taillon, let's face it. I could tell you 90% of the Yankee fans didn't want to retain him to begin with. So we knew he wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
For you to sit here and say we needed Taillon back, I'm going to call Fibble. I'm going to call EPS on that because a lot of the Yankee fans from the watch-alongs and from us speaking didn't really want Taillon back. That's a good guy. That's a good sign for the Cubs. They bring in a pitcher who went through its injuries, a change of scenery, learn how to, probably reinvent himself with the Yankees. He might be a pitcher that might help. He'll be a solid number 2 there in Chicago. But for the New York Yankees, back to the Yankees, we know he wasn't returning. So that's why we're all enthusiastic, thinking that Carlos Rendon will be a type of pitcher that will come to New York. You want to bring a left-handed pitcher into the Yankees, into the stadium. I'm a big advocate. Always say, bring players placated to your arena, to your stadium, and left-handed pitching always is a big plus at Yankee Stadium with that long Death Valley in left field. So the Yankees, if they miss out on Rendon, because it could be a possibility, then we have to pivot to other pitchers available there. Yes. Jose Quintana that went with the Mets was a name that they were interested in, a lefty. He's off the board. So I know if the Yankees are really serious about Rendon, don't expect next weekend Rendon to be unsigned with anyone, or at least the Yankees will know by then if they're in it, if they're out at the Rendon sweepstakes, due to the fact that they need to bolify their bullpen, their starting pitching. But if not, they're just gonna have to start moving starting pitches up one notch. Now we'll probably see Sevy be a number 3, and then number 4. Everyone moves one up. And I don't think us as Yankee fans want to see Clark Schmidt starting at that number 5 spot.
Yeah. So let's welcome in Chris the Flash. Salute, brother. So,
what's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
There was something you brought up yesterday, Chris, about the whole Chicago White Sox thing.
Yeah.
So Robert just signed an extension with Chicago, but I just thought of something to add on to your point. Giolito and Carlos Rodon were teammates on Chicago from 2016 to 2020. Let's say the Yankees go out, pivot, make the deal for Giolito. That might be more incentive for Rodon to be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll take less years for a higher AAV so I can play with Giolito again. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible because, if we can't get Roberts, what if we get Giolito and McConnell?
You could do that.
Because, he could play third.
He could. Kev, what do you think?
I have a hard time because I'm not too familiar with the guys that you're. Where I know the pitcher, Giolito, but I don't know. I don't know what it takes. So I'm gonna pass on this one.
Okay, that's fine. Just quick shout out to the chat. Aiden, Jonathan, Udall, what's up, guys? Salute.
What's up,
Well, there was a good something that Jonathan brought up, Taillon, because we were just talking about that. He should have gotten a QO. Did he get a QO, or was he?
No,
he was not issued a QO. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No draft pick.
Okay. So Udall made a good point, and that is that the Yankees need to make moves and make moves fast. I absolutely 100% agree with that. They need to get a starter and they need to get their left fielder. No matter how they do it. Now, there have been names thrown around from the Diamondbacks outfielders to Reynolds to Rodon to everyone. I mean, this is the offseason the Yankees need to bank on. This is the offseason the Yankees have to bank and really show that they're serious about winning. Because if you look at Philly, San Diego, who else? There was the Red Sox who got Yoshida. You've got the Cubs who are making moves. You've got the Cardinals who signed Contreras. You've got to start making, and you've got to start answering back. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna throw it to you, Chris, and then throw it to Kev. What do you think?
Like, all right. So the word is Rodon wants actually like they keep saying 7, but it sounds like he'll take the 6, just the 6. Yankees need to stop being stingy and just give him the 6 year. Like if that's all it's gonna take, give him the 6 year. We as Yankee fans, we don't care about the back end of the contract. As long as we can win the World Series at the front end, we don't care.
Yeah.
So if
sorry, Chris.
No. You go, Kev.
No, I got Chris. Finish your thought. Finish. I wanna finish what you got to say.
Because I just think we really need a pitcher. Like I understand, y'all want to get these little cheap bargain price pitchers, but that's not going to help us win. And for Kiermaier going to the Blue Jays, that actually helps us if Reynolds do get traded. That actually takes one of the teams out the market.
Yes, it does.
Right. I agree with that. With the Reynolds out, now that Kiermaier's out of the market. Now, when it comes to Rendon, Yankees stick to your guns with the 5 years. Then to call them cheap after they went out and got Judge and made the money there and upped the offer, and they're in the second tier of the luxury tax. They're not cheap. I mean, we got to stop that stigma of calling the New York Yankees cheap. They just got to go and execute and get the job there and be financially smart about it when it comes to getting, I'm not going to give everything to Rendon either. I mean, I just hope they give him a 5-year deal. If we want 7, I'm sorry, guys. Let him go somewhere else. There'll be other pitchers. I'm sorry. We could trade and we could get other pitchers. That's the way I'm feeling. I like Rendon, but he's only been a year. He's only been 2 years of healthy pitching. I like the lefty concept and all, but I'm not going 6 or 7 years. I'm not. If that's the reason why the Yankees miss out on him, I'm not gonna. I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. I know. We want to win the World Series. I got you, but I'm all right with it though. I want Rendon as a Yankee. Trust me, but not at 6 or 7 years. I don't. I'm all right with it. The same way, and everybody didn't want Judge to get 10 years. I don't want to see 7 years of Rendon.
So then would you do, I guess my follow-up question to that, Kev, would be, would you go 5 years with an option for a 6?
Of course, options are always are there for a reason, to protect either the player or the organization. If you want to give me 2 years of, now I could say, you know what, high AVA the first 3 years, the next 2 years something with some opt-outs, 6 or 7, make it turn to 7 if he hits all his opt-outs or his escalating clause. You know what? Fine. I'm okay. You know what? It is what it is. He might not hit those escalating clauses in year 5, 6, and 7. Then he's gone. I could see that. That's a smart contract. But guarantee 7 years, I think that's way too rich. No pitchers these days are getting that. No pitchers.
Chris? You're on mute, bud.
I would definitely give him the option because it's just crazy because you gave what was CC's contract? He was the same age.
Was 7 for like 180 or something.
Like he's the same age, but I wouldn't give him that 7-year guarantee. No, but
CC definitely was a different story.
Yeah, I would definitely give him the 6-year option. I told you anything go past Cole's contract, I wouldn't do, but anything below Cole's contract, I'm fine with.
Yeah, especially the way we're ridiculing Cole right now with his contract. And let's face it, Cole is a much better pitcher than Carlos Rendon. And if we're ridiculing Cole, how much more they're gonna kill Rendon?
I'll say this too, Kev, and people need to realize this too. Why we want Rodon? Cole, I guarantee you, if Cole got that second ace behind him, he's gonna end up like the Houston Cole.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what's gonna happen.
That's because he doesn't have that one person
No.
behind him to push him.
That's how he was in Pittsburgh.
He had Verlander to push him.
He didn't have nobody in Pittsburgh, so that's why
He didn't have one in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So
You always want that 1-2 punch. The way the Mets have it, the way and you know, Atlanta had it with the 1-2 punch. You always want to have that 1-2 punch. You know you're not gonna get into a long losing streak with these pitchers.
Yep.
yeah.
I also heard though that the Mets are still in on Kodai Senga, which if the Yankees miss out on Rodon might be the next option to go for.
But I don't think, to be honest with you, unless some mystery team come out of nowhere, I haven't heard any other team going out for Carlos.
Yeah, that's what I heard the same thing.
You know, and the Senga pitcher, I heard Boston's trying to make a play for him.
Yep.
Yeah, after signing the left fielder, I agree with that. But I think I think with Kodai Senga, the Mets are a valuable commodity there. I think they want to try to get Kodai Senga to try to entice Shohei Ohtani for next season, so he could sign with the Mets and have that Japanese market televising all the Met games to Japan and etc. I think it's a marketing play there. So I could see Kodai Senga going to the Mets though. I don't know. I didn't hear the Yankees. They mentioned it briefly, but I don't know. Do you think Kodai Senga with the Yankees would be a how would you feel with that? Because I don't know much about him. Want to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, I think it would be an interesting fit. I mean, if you remember Hiroki Kuroda when he came over here, he played with the Yankees after the Dodgers. Masahiro Tanaka, you know, it could be an interesting fit. Something to think about.
But you think would it work in New York? What is he? I don't know. Is he a fastball, slider, split finger? What is this? What is this guy command? Is he a 4-pitch pitcher?
I can tell you right now. Give me 1 second.
I know he could throw a fastball. He could top up to 100. I knew that.
All right, he's got a lively fastball. Okay, all right, and of course he's left-handed, which is a plus.
I think he throws. Oh man, I don't know if it's a splitter like Tanaka or.
Okay.
All right, so here's what he has.
Okay.
He's got a fastball averaging 95 to 96, topping out at 100.
Yeah.
He has a
nice
forkball.
Yeah, that's what forkball.
A cutter and a slider.
Nice.
And his forkball has been nicknamed the Ghost Fork in Japan. So that might be something to take a look at.
Now, one thing we got to be careful. That me personally, when these Japanese pitcher that throw the forkball comes to the United States, a lot of times they end up getting Tommy John or tear with their elbow, have elbow issues. Case in point, besides Masahiro Tanaka, other pitchers, Matsuzaka, and because remember, the Japanese baseball is different from the American League baseball. It's a different ball. The grip and the torque that takes on that forkball does a little bit of a number on the elbows and the UCL of the pitchers. I'm hoping if Kenda saying that, I would love him to come here. Do you think? Let me ask this question: do you think the Yankees, knowing how breaking ball heavy they are, will change him to not want to? And we heard it from Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees didn't want him to throw use of his fastball or certain pitches. Do you think that the Yankees will want to have him kind of scrap a little bit of the football? Maybe you only throw it 12% of his starts.
It's possible, but you never know.
I was about to say Tanaka's the only pitcher I know that didn't get Tommy John surgery. That dude's a freak.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to him, but I think it would have been still pitching in the major leagues if he would have got the surgery. I know we would have lost out on him. We probably would have not beat the Indians in 2017 if he was without the Tommy. If he would have taken the surgery, but you know, would have, could have, should have. You know how we say.
Now, Udall brought up a great point. The reason why the Rodon Yankee situation hasn't come to fruition yet is because realize it's Boris. He's holding everything up. This is what Scott Boris does.
Mhm.
This is what he does. This is why he's the best in the business. This is why everybody wants him to represent them because of stuff like this. He will drain every last penny and every last year out of a team. That is why people want him to represent them. Because he holds things up until he gets what he wants for his clients.
That's why I think Rodon and the Yankees are gonna agree on that 6-year option.
Yeah.
I think both of them gonna budge. Like the Yankees gonna budge on that, and then Rodon's gonna ask the years to drop down a little bit because they everybody kept playing that little clip from R2C2. What he said and stuff like that. Like I really think like when CC says you should be a Yankee, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna be a Yankee. Look at Garrett Cole.
I mean, CC loved this time here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you remember, Kev, in 09 when he first got here, when he got his introduction press conference, you saw how excited he was to be here and how ready he was to just go. So that should say something. If a future Hall of Fame pitcher like CC is saying, hey, you're going to love New York, you're going to love playing for the Yankees, that's got some backing to it.
Absolutely. I mean, who when a lot of players who play Major League Baseball, you're telling me the Yankees want you. I don't think there'll be nobody. I think 98% of the aspiring Major League ball players were like, yeah, I'll play for the Yankees. Oh, you're gonna have your few 5 to 10% that won't. But if you telling me you have a chance to play for the Yankees, a lot of people will jump on it. Of course, that's like saying that's the best of the best. You want to when you play, you want to be on the best of the best. You want to be on the top notch. When it comes either there, Boston, New York, etc. I wouldn't blame any of these starting pitchers that if the Yankees want you, they're gonna get you. So, but here's what I'm thinking. Rendon, if Boris is trying to get as much money as possible, maybe trying to see if San Diego gets involved for Carlos Rendon. Since San Diego is throwing money like nothing.
Jesus.
I don't know if the Dodgers were willing to throw money at Rendon for pitching. He's trying to get the big markets in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Dodgers, they don't plan on spending this year because they're trying to save up for Ohtani for next.
I see that. But don't be surprised if the Texas Rangers come up with a ridiculous offer. Go $200 million for Rendon. That's probably what Boris is trying to do. Trying to convince 1-2 punch. You got 1-2 punch DeGrom, Rendon, Martin. Now, Texas got something cooking.
Here's what I think. And I'd like to hear both your opinions on this in chat. Please get involved with this as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Remember, before I get in that, please smash that like button. It's very grateful. We are very grateful for it, and it's so helpful for the channel. But I could see a bidding war for Rodon's services between the Yankees and Texas, and the Yankees eventually outbidding Texas and getting Rodon. That I can see. If let's say the Yankees have their 5-year deal offer now. Then Texas comes in and says, okay, well, we'll give you five with an option for 6 for 180, 190. Now the Yankees say, you know what? Fine. We'll give you one. We'll give you the 200, but for the 6. So now that your AAV higher than it was before, you're getting more bang for your buck and you're getting the guy you want. I could see something like that happen. What do you guys think?
You want to go, Kev? Or you want me to go? All right. I'm not gonna lie. I give the Yankees credit because all these reports coming out about Rodon and stuff like that, nobody has once said the Yankees are trying to blackball them on the AAV. Is the years that they don't want to go. So I give them credit for that because it could have easily been, we want to go give him like 24, give him a $2 million raise from last year's pay that he got. But they really giving him what he wants. He just want more years for the stability. Yep. But I just think if you got I agree with Kevin. Don't go to 7 But if you got to give him 6, give him the 6.
Absolutely.
Make it an option and front load the contract.
Yep. I can see that too. Kev, what do you think?
Absolutely. You front load the contract. I say 5 with the 2 years options. You can make it vice versa. You can make the 6-year a player's option, because if he's having another good year and he opts out, he want to get another payday for 3 years, a la Burson Berlander. Let's say he balls out with the Yankees, maybe gets a Cy Young award at the year number 5, and he wants to get a big pay raise, and get another 3 years guaranteed. Now he get out, and then year 7, make it a Yankee option if they want to retain the player at X amount of dollars. So year 7, if he's not up to par and pitches and not well, the Yankees say, we're not gonna tender you, and he becomes a free agent and he goes his merry way. Those type of contracts or if he pitches X amount of numbers of innings, it becomes now guaranteed. Things like that. I can see that's what Cashman does. He's very smart and intelligent.
I agree. I'm hoping everybody's going crazy. Like when they're gonna sign Rodon, everybody keep talking about Rodon this, Rodon that. It ain't the Yankees, it ain't Rodon, it's Boras. He's trying to get as much as he can out for his player.
You can't blame them. You can't blame that for that. You can't blame it. That's a smart negotiation tactic.
He's always done this. This is Boras. He's always holding up the market to see how much he can get for his player. I mean, it don't just help his player, it puts money in his pocket too. I mean, Mike just said, deuces. So how's the line? No, I'm messing with Mike because he got himself on mute.
Oh, the line is pretty long.
Okay. Is this a pay-per-view?
Yep, pay-per-view, 8:00 on the Peacock. NXT deadline, baby. Look at my shirt. I made my own shirt. Look at that. NXT deadline. Here we go. Heal the Ring podcast will be in attendance live. So what happened to Mikey? I got Mike and Chris. You know what? I always wanted to get on a live stream with a Mike and Chris. We just need the old jingle.
Nah. So, Kev, what move do you think is gonna happen next?
Right now it's the waiting game. I still think when they're starting pitching, I think they'll get their next move for the New York Yankees position player wise is their number 2 starter. Now, could it be Rendon, or could it be that big tweet that Michael K wrote out that and the Yankees are working on something big, and I think that's the next move. I don't think nothing else gets done with the Yankee world, but the next big move between either the signing of Rendon, a free agent, or they trade for a number. Either way, it's going to be for a pitcher. That's their next move, and then after that, their left fielder. Unless if they're going to trade for a monster left fielder, which I don't know if they will. I don't know who's available in a trade that we don't think of. Like, oh, whoa, we didn't see that coming.
That's a good question. I mean, the only outfielders I've been hearing about is the D-backs and Reynolds.
I know it's only a 1-year deal. All of a sudden, at one time, and all of a sudden, New York comes up with Juan Soto come back out of nowhere because San Diego sees that they won't be able to re-sign and they want to retool.
That'd be crazy. But you see everybody talking about the Tatis getting traded, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tatis, that San Diego's willing to move those guys. They saw, let's say Soto's like, I'm not happy in this city. I'm not gonna tell. He tells his representation and starts telling San Diego now, I'm not I am not resigning with this team. I am not. I'm here as a rental. You want to trade, get a value. Maybe his representative tells him now, trade me now and get some value because I'm not resigning. Maybe that's the what Michael K. And the insiders think of something big by the Yankees. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, because he is represented by Scott Boras, huh?
Absolutely. And if Boris is throwing the Yankees some flowers and kudos the way he's been doing it, the way we saw there, then there's something in the works there. Maybe they got something cooking. I don't know. You sign you give me you sign Rendon for the 7 years, 6 years, whatever the case was, a contract. You'll be the front in the line here for Soto if you want to bring Soto. I'm trying to give me, and maybe that's something that you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know with these baseball agents and owners and what they inner workings.
Because the only why I brought up the Tatis thing yesterday is because like they talking about San Diego talking about trying to put him in the outfield. I'm like, he's not an outfielder. Why would you do that?
Tatis is a third baseman or shortstop. He's an infielder.
Yeah, like why would you put him in the outfield? I don't care. Like if you paying him, I just think you're paying him. But if the dude feel uncomfortable, you got to respect that too.
Correct. Yeah, so that's interesting to see. Was Mikey off the air, or what happened to Mikey?
I don't know. He's messaging in the chat. Mike, I think you're muted, Mike.
Make sure he's okay. He's the head of the stream. Make sure.
Yeah, I mean, he messaged in the chat. He said, "What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Trey Turner signing?"
I can't see the chat because I'm on my phone, so I wanted to say hello to everyone in the chat. So I'm not ignoring or I am acknowledging the chat. So salute to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining the Fortune Express this evening. I'm sorry I can't read the chat on my own cell phone on the road. So, but salute.
Mike said, "What do y'all think about the Trey Turner signing?" So.
Philadelphia didn't really need that though. The Philadelphians are acting like the old Yankees. Like, damn, like wow, did you guys really need Trey Turner? But hey, I can't hate on that.
Yeah, be honest with you, they actually got a like AAV wise, they actually got a friendly deal for Turner. Maybe not the years, but yeah.
It's such a long contract though, 11 years, man. A lot could happen in 11 years, but hey, Turner, he's willing to move position. So once his shortstop days are behind him, when it's diminishing, he's willing to move to third. So you got yourself a third baseman, and that's one thing that Turner so far, barring catastrophe injuries, he's got speed. Speed never gets old.
Yeah. I mean,
speed never gets old.
Look at Marte for the Mets and Ricky Henderson when he played.
Yes.
They still was fast.
They were extremely fast.
So Brett Gardner too. I forgot about Brett Gardner. I mean, like I said, like they got a friendly deal with the AAV. It's just so long, 11 years, like you said.
I'll be back.
And no opt-outs neither.
No opt-outs. No. Those. It's a smart move there for Trey Turner securing that bag.
Yeah.
What's Mikey's still having the technical difficulties, I guess. Just want to make sure he's all right.
He hasn't sent anything in the chat. Nobody's like, I don't see anything in the chat right now. I'm trying to think.
And we're still live, so we're still on the live stream. So we'll keep it going for Mike.
What do you like? What would you give up for Brian Reynolds?
That's an interesting one because you got to give up where I don't know if Pittsburgh wants what the Yankees have a lot of in their position of strength. Of course, it's going to be a middle infielder. It's going to be a middle infielder. They don't got a Josh Bell. They're going to want a first baseman. I don't know what Pittsburgh's scouting department sees in Austin Wells because we know Austin Wells is known as a catcher. But what kind of catcher? Catcher, first baseman. I won't give up Spencer Jones. Not at all.
No.
No.
I wouldn't give him up either because he's the future.
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, I'd rather give up Dominguez than him.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like I like Dominguez, but Spencer Jones, that dude came out and that dude's a freak.
Indeed.
Like, I don't know, like I feel like if you gotta give up Peraza, like people keep saying why would they want Peraza, but you also gotta realize O'Neal Cruz is big for a shortstop. He can move to third base.
Well, that's if he's willing to move.
Yeah. But to say, or you can put Peraza at second, it don't matter. Because they don't have a second baseman.
No.
So I was thinking, since Marvin Gonzalez is gone, how would you feel, especially if DJ hurt too? How would you feel about Adam Frazier?
That's a good signing.
Because I was thinking about that. I think he's a lefty and he's a utility person, so he can play outfield and infield.
Just doing a little walking. Sorry about that.
No. Y'all good? I mean, I just hope Mike's okay. Trying to think what else is there. The D-backs. Do you know any of the D-backs outfielders?
Just McCarty. We mentioned it yesterday on the stream here.
Yeah,
he's available, but we don't know what Arizona wants. What kind of what year? How are they in their rebuilding? If they think they're close to putting a competitive team.
Yeah, I think the only why they want to give up one of the outfielders is because I think they got like a surplus, like how we got in the infield. So it would make sense because I don't think the infield is as good. So if they're gonna trade the outfield for us, we probably gonna give them like Peraza or somebody. So chat. If anybody's in the chat, what would y'all do for one of the outfielders, either the D-backs or Reynolds? Who would y'all want to give up? Jonathan. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this man's name right. I don't want to botch it or anything. Yadel? Like, what would y'all give up for Reynolds or one of the D-backs outfielders, Thomas or McCarthy? Like, if we got to give up Dominguez or Peraza to get Reynolds, I'm definitely doing it in a heartbeat. I mean, because why we want Reynolds is because he's the finished product of Dominguez. Why not just get him right away so we can compete for a championship? Like, yeah, I like Dominguez, but then you got concerns about him not hustling. And you know how that is when it comes to the Yankees with Gary and Gleyber and stuff like that. So I would definitely, if it comes down to it, I'll definitely trade Dominguez to get Brian Reynolds. What y'all think? You good, Mike?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, just got disconnected a moment ago here. Sorry about that.
Nah, you
just
good.
walking and got disconnected. Where we at? Mikey's
still not like. I even asked the chat, but nobody's in the chat neither. So I was basically talking to myself.
All right, so where we at? What subject we're in?
All right, so we was talking about what we give up for like either Reynolds and the D-backs outfields, like what would be the most that you would give up for one of them?
Right. We were talking about one position of strength. You could start it. It starts off
Yeah,
with one of the with one of the middle infielders, one of the many shortstops that the Yankees have. You're gonna have to probably give pony up Austin Wells some international signing money, and you're looking at one of the Yankees one or two low level pitching prospects for the Pittsburgh to send to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if that's enough. You're probably gonna want to. I don't know if Pittsburgh has any bad contracts that they're gonna want to attach for us to return to take back Reynolds in return. So if there is a bad contract on Pittsburgh, you better believe that they're going to want to try the Yankees to absorb it and take it back.
yeah. I was thinking like if they really need a pitcher, why not just give him Clark Smith?
You can't deplete your if we don't have a number two starter, Chris. You can't deplete your pitching well. Domingo Herman, Clark Smith, unless you have signed and you have. That's why this number. That's why I keep saying that the second move
Yeah,
the New York Yankees are going to make will be for a pit number two starter, and then they'll make the next move for the left fielder. I think the second, unless if they're really high on Benintendi and they got a number and they will bring Benintendi and then let's go get this, we'll get the number two pitcher. But if they're not going to sign one of the free agents left fielders, and they got to get their next move will be a number two starter, no matter what, or three,
yeah.
depending how you wanna put Cortez at 2 or 3, whatever the case is.
Jonathan said for Reynolds he'll give up Dominguez, uh, Vargas, and Garcia. What we think about that?
That's what's gonna have to. That's the kind of package. To be honest with you, that's gonna take. Maybe another, or maybe another player or two. That's for be honest with you, that's what's gonna start. That's the starting. That's what's gonna have to come up to the table. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, Mike just messaged in the chat too. I would do that, Jonathan. Mike, you
Yeah,
good, bro?
that's a move. Now, all of a sudden, all these people came out of left field here that weren't here earlier. A lot of people. Yeah, I won't be on the stream too long because I'm gonna start becoming an enforcer here of people skipping in the
Yeah,
line. Yeah.
I don't like that. Oh, he was holding my spot. No, he wasn't there.
No.
So if that's it, Mike, you just want to close the stream?
No way. I won't do this sometime.
Hopefully you guys can see me here. Still beautiful day out here. Beautiful day in Florida, in Orlando, Florida, at 82 degrees, baby. Short sleeve, nice, beautiful now, nice breeze. This is paradise, man.
I bet. It feels weird. It feels weird being in a hot sun in December.
It feels phenomenal. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's... Well, we're waiting to see what Mikey wants to do. Mikey!
Hey, yo, Mikey. I feel like he's trying to mess with his camera or something because his camera thing keep popping in and out.
Yeah, it looked like he's having technical difficulties.
Sorry, guys. I had to take that. That was struggling a little bit. But anyways, Jonathan brought up something. There it is. You just highlight this. So I know we've been talking about Reynolds lately.
Yeah.
I propose this: Reynolds for Dominguez, Vargas, and Garcia. Would you guys do that?
That's what's going to take. Probably, yeah. That's what's going to take. Yeah, I think that's the starting point. That's what you're going to have to bring to the table. Yes.
Chris? Yeah, I mean, I think we might have to get another piece or two, but yeah, I mean, if that's what it's going to take, yeah, to get Reynolds, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
I think the Yankees should still try to pursue Reynolds, try and get him in the fold as well as Rodon. Yeah. I think that would be the wise thing to do.
Yeah.
So let's get to the final points, and we got to wrap it up. I got some other stuff we got to take care of. But Kev, what would be your next move if you're the Yankees?
I've been saying it. Get the next starter and get another starting pitcher, and then we'll go from there.
Chris?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a number two starter is what we need, and then after that, then you got to make trades to make up room for these players. That's why the contracts ain't official yet with Judge and now.
Well, Judge is upon a physical when he returns from his honeymoon, from his vacation.
So I agree with you. I think bringing in another frontline starter like a Rodon and trying to get Brian Reynolds would be the two moves I would make. So that's how I would do it. But anyways, guys, I want to thank everyone who tuned in today. I would like to remind you guys to subscribe, hit the bell icon, like Chris Lash's page and Donna the Watchman on DX Sports Jedi. Like their pages, subscribe to their pages, tune into their stuff. They do great stuff. They have great content. This is your boy, the Ford Train Express. Thank you all for tuning in, hopping on the train, and enjoying the ride with me. Appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your day. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's an open door policy for both of you. Anytime I go live, you're more than welcome to come on, and we'll do something like this again soon. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you, guys, and good night.
All right, peace, man. Don't forget to hit those likes and subscribe.